Welcome to the review of the Samsung Galaxy S5 Mini, a beautiful smartphone with a beautiful screen and all kinds of features that you have already seen in the Samsung Galaxy S5, which you have already done a review of course, for you guys also. We'll do a little bit of comparison later, but first let's look around the details here a little bit. Like, for example, of course, it looks exactly like the S5, but it's a little bit smaller. But the one feature I like the most is that we don't have to open up a little flap here on the bottom to take it underwater or to charge it, because it's completely waterproof, even though we have an open micro USB port. Otherwise, of course, same software, Android 4.4.2 right now installed. There will be probably an update to an even newer Android version coming out, because till June next year, when probably the next one is coming out, the S6 Mini, this will have to stick with KitKat. Then we have on the top, of course, here the completely open microphone and headphone port, also headset port. There's also a headset inside the box, as you can see in our unboxing. Infrared video port, of course, for using it with your TV. There is a nice little app here which is called Smart Remote, where you can use it with your hi-fi system, TV system, or anything that has an infrared port almost. Volume rocker is on this side and on and off switch on the other side, and you can actually, of course, take off the back cover again, which means that you can easily change the 2100 milliamp battery, the micro SD cards here, and also micro SIM card right below that. There's no dual SIM version available right now, and actually internally there's 16 gigs, of which 11 gigs are free. So you can see here the little rubber thingy that goes around the battery and everything that's important, so it stays waterproof, which is of course essential. And the battery, as I said, is quite big and also has NFC built into the battery, as it is common with Samsung devices now for a few years. So if I put on back the back cover, you should check watch out to have it on nicely. And also here on the back you can see that we have the heart rate sensor, the 8 megapixel camera, which is a little bit, of course, worse than the one on the S5. I mean, it's a cheaper product, but the front camera with 2.1 megapixels is actually, I think, even the same. So we can actually try that out now, where you can see that the back camera is looking quite good. We can just easily take a picture here, don't even have to focus much, and we can check out the result right here, which is not that sharp because I didn't focus that long. But if you take a look at my other picture I took in my last video, you can see that it's really quite nice looking. And if you, of course, go really close, you will see pixels, but I mean, it's 8 megapixels. What do you expect? If you're already in the camera, you can see that in low light, it's also taking quite beautiful pictures. But not only pictures, also videos, like for example this one, which was taken here in a club. I always take 1-minute shots where you can check out the quality of the full HD camera, and also I can check the size. So you can look at my drinks, and there's a lot of people, of course, dancing. I don't have sound on right now, but of course the one speaker on the back wouldn't be that great. I tried a little bit of zooming, but of course that's just digital zoom. So yeah. You can check out the full content on my YouTube channel. Just look for S5 Mini low light camera test. Also here I took a video underwater, since, as I said, it's waterproof and I like to take the waterproof things into the pool. I am a water polo player, so I am in the pool a lot. So it says the water depth is 1.1 meter, and IP67 actually, which it says here, means that we can take the device up to 1 meter underwater. You can see here the S5 right there, which is also now on the ground, which means it's a little bit more than 1 meter, but it's not that bad. It still works. It was only for a few minutes. Up to 30 minutes, 1 meter underwater is what IP67 holds out. So you can see it works underwater. I took a video underwater and taking this one also above water. Again, here the full content is available, of course, in my YouTube channel. Then now we have the camera on the back, but what about the front camera? That's actually, I think, even better. It's a really great selfie camera. You have a lot of space. If I would stretch out my whole arm like this, you can see that 1 or 2 more persons would have space here inside the picture, or if you hold it like that, even more people. Otherwise, there's a lot of apps installed, of course, as usually from Google, the most ones, but we only have 2 pages full of apps here. You can see this is the second page. Now on the first page you saw all of these ones. Here the most essential one is probably the camera, as I said, and the gallery, which we have tried out already, but there's a few Samsung apps also right there. And the File Explorer itself is quite good to use. For example, here the heart rate sensor, which I can just start by pressing start here. Of course, it doesn't open like this. I already measured my heart rate before. As you can see, it was 79 BPM 10 minutes ago, but now let's see how much it is now. It's 78, and you can actually here check, of course, also other things like the pedometer, exercise, and so on. And the pedometer will actually also work here with your smartphone just being in your pocket. Of course, you can also do this, and then you can see how fast I'm running. And can also track your sleep and all kinds of other things. But yeah, I think the software has to still learn a lot and give Samsung a little bit time to check out how to make their ratings better. Otherwise, here more Google apps, as I said, but what I want to show you is, of course, that we have in Antutu, for example, 20,000 points that the smartphone got. It has to restart now, so it's 19 something points with 1.5 gigs of RAM, and there's the quad-core Exynos processor inside with 1.4 gigahertz. You can check out all about that on my S4 Mini against S5 Mini comparison video. You can see here the result for the G800F, which is the code name for the S5 Mini. So points are not that interesting. How is it with gaming? Gaming is, of course, quite strong in here, not as strong as, for example, in S5 or the HTC One or some other really strong and flagship smartphone. But of course, we have here almost half the price with the S5 Mini, so it's totally enough for just some basic gaming. As you can see, I can just jump around and use here, of course, all the sensors like running to left, right, jumping up, jumping left, and so on and so on. So the graphics are quite alright, and the display is also really good here because we have an HD screen, 1280x720 here with the Samsung Galaxy S5 on 4.5 inches. So what does 4.5 inches mean? If I have an Apple iPhone in my hand, for example, it's a 4-inch smartphone. You can see here that we have almost the same size. It's a little bit higher, as you can see, and also a little bit wider, but actually not that much. It's also with 8.9 millimeters a little bit thicker because the iPhone has 8.4, but it's of course lighter since it's not made of metal nowhere. This is all plastic going all around here on the Samsung Galaxy S5, while the Apple iPhone has a lot of metal inside, which makes it quite sturdy and strong. But the feeling of this one with the rubber back is also quite good because it won't slip out of your hand. Of course, there's quite a few other features that we've already seen from other devices, like the keyboard. You can type like this, you can type with swipe if you will enable that, and there's also fingerprint reader inside here, as I mentioned before, where you can just go into the settings. If you guys don't believe me, because I don't have it set up actually, it's right here. I could set up now 5 fingers and even use it to pay with PayPal. So I can browse here through all kinds of features like easy access, air view is still inside, motion and gestures, and all kinds of other things here in the G800F or the S5 Mini. And actually, of course, most features are available right here. So for example, you can use it with gloves, you can access the device with your eyes, so if you look down, it will scroll down, and all kinds of things that we already have shown you in the S5 review, so you should check out all about that in that video. I won't go into details now here with the S5 Mini because there is not much of a software upgrade here. It's still the same phone, but with a smaller form factor, looking quite good, and of course it's cheaper, so maybe it will appeal to more people. So thank you much for tuning in. This was the Samsung Galaxy S5 Mini in a full review. Thank you much for watching. Till next time, peace and again, and don't forget to subscribe.